Hey guys, Stitch_the Road to here. Welcome back to a brand new episode of the Avengers game, and in this video I'm mainly going to be talking about Thor Love and Thunder while playing with the mighty Thor, Jane Foster. So I thought I'll have a quick look at the item shop because we know there's a Thor Love and Thunder suit, and expect spoilers, I'm going to talk about the entire film, my thoughts, and yeah. So first of all, this suit, I enjoyed it in the film. It was cool when he summoned it. He hasn't got the mask on. I think in Fortnite he has a mask, which you can't take off, which is a bit of a bummer. And Jane, this is the only suit she has in the game that you can buy in the store. It's meh. Anyway, let's talk about the film. So I watched it on a Friday, it came out on Thursday, so the day after. Avoided all spoilers. The only thing I knew before going in was there were two end credit scenes. One of them was amazing. The other one was terrible. And, the hate this film has been getting online is so... Why? The film was great. Honestly, so funny. So Taika Waititi. So Ragnarok. So what Thor is now, which is great. Thor in these films is how he should have always been. Took him a while to get to where it was. Like, I mean, Chris Hemsworth, around Thor 2 time, said he wanted his character to be killed off because he just didn't like it. But now he's doing interviews saying he wants to be Thor forever. He wants to... I think Wolverine, Logan, Hugh Jackman, in an interview he said he was the longest character to play a role, like a superhero role, and Chris Hemsworth was like, I'm going to overtake that and then I'll retire, or something like that. Well, retire the role. So that's still a good few years. So it's great that he's not wanting to give up playing this role now. Complete any drops I've done. Any threat sector. Let's do a threat sector. What's a threat sector? Is that a threat sector? That one? It's a villain sector. No. Threat sector? No. Threat? No. Threat sector? Oh, threat sector. So it's like this downward arrow. But they're all too high. That's 50. Not too high. Damn it. Aha, threat sector. That's the one I literally just played. So I'm going to go to this one. What was I? So, controversy and stuff. I just enjoyed the film from the beginning. I knew before going in the Guardians were going to last, what, 4, 5 scenes, if that. Like, I knew they would be gone by the time the first act ended, and that was correct. I knew they were going to just vanish. Not be in the film for long, probably go off and film the Christmas special, then Guardians 3. I think that's the order it's going. Is the Christmas special this year? Oh god, I hope so. I'm Groot as well, is that coming out this year? Anyway, the film was good. I liked Jane, the cancer storyline. Obviously I knew that was going to happen. We knew for a while. I liked just how she came back for this role, the storyline, the relationship between the two, because they kind of just ended all of a sudden between Thor 2 and Thor 3. Like, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the end credit scene of Thor 2, where Thor comes back just to kiss Jane, that's actually not Natalie Portman, that's actually Chris Hemsworth's wife. Fun fact. And another thing, Love, or Gore's daughter is played by Chris Hemsworth's daughter. So that's cool. Gore was a cool character. I don't believe it was played by Christian Bale, I think. I don't believe him in an interview. He said he's never watched a single MCU film or Marvel film other than the one where the guy collects rocks. He said that's the only film he's ever watched and he's never heard of the MCU. I think that's cap. I think everyone has at least... Maybe he's not watched them all, but he's at least heard of the MCU and knows something. I don't think that was his first ever time properly knowing what's happening. But he played the character well. I liked that colour scene, well, the non-colour scene where it's all black and white. I just wish we saw more of Gore, like, just killing gods. I thought Gore might have killed Zeus. Obviously, that was Thor, but it wasn't Thor. It was actually no one. Hercules coming up in the next film. Obviously, in the comics, being a big rival with Thor. So it makes sense. I'm in your debt. You bring the storm, what, as in Sue Storm? Or as in Storm, X-Men. Or you just mean Thor. I don't know. What else? I loved Stormbreaker in this. I was like a jealous hammer thing. Like every time he tried to summon Mjolnir to him, I thought Stormbreaker would just come around the corner like, hey, yo. And the way he was used to power, the ghost, Teeth Grinder, Teeth Gnasher. They were so funny. Very obnoxious, but just funny. I'd like to think Taika Waititi voiced them. I don't know if that's true. That's just something I'd like to think was true. I believe they were inspired by... I saw an interview like Taylor Swift's meme where there was screaming groats in that video, like, what, 2010? I remember that time. But that's what they were inspired by. Obviously, there were things in the comics anyway with very weird names, which I will not pronounce. That's why I'm going to call them Teeth Grinder and Teeth Gnasher. Ow. Okay, what's this ability? I can't even remember what she can do. I won't lie. Who's shielding you guys, and why? I think no, this is just a built-up shield. It's a yellow shield that I need to stop. Now I get her unique axe, which I'm not sure. This looks like Hercules' weapon in the end credit scene. I liked Axel. He was cool. Everyone's making memes about his head floating there. Remember, like, wasn't this all made in lockdown? Like, you can't complain if some CGI looks bad. Like, Thor in the first scene, well, not the first scene, but when he was, like, killing those furry, weird creatures, doing the splits all by himself, like, showing off. That was a really cool scene. You can't say, like, obviously it's not realistic, but it looked it. So, a floating head appeared. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as Mark Ruffalo in Infinity War. It's not that level bad, so I don't think it deserved that much hate. I liked the use of Axel there, because obviously Heimdall being dead. Another thing, Heimdall did return in the end credit scene, which I think was sick. Very surprising. Idris Elba returned. Oh, it's me and Black Widow. Cool. That did no damage to him. Never mind. But the biggest controversy was Valhalla. So everyone's talking about Valhalla in the film multiple times, mainly with Lady Sif, how if you die in battle, then you'll make it. Well, if you're an Asgardian, you die in battle, you'll make it to Valhalla, which was brought up many times in the film, and makes sense in just like the lore of Asgardians and stuff. However, Jane never did die in battle. She died after, during Eternity, after the battle was over. However, she still made it to Valhalla, which everyone is like, huh? How? But what I read online and what I believe was it was showing that, yes, she didn't die in that battle, but she died to cancer, which was a battle she was having the entire film. And it's just showing that people with cancer and stuff are warriors and stuff, and it was just really strong thinking about it that way. I don't think we'll ever see her again. I don't know if we should. I think it was a good send-off to her. Obviously, we will see Thor again, Love and Thunder. I loved Korg's narration throughout the film, how he kept calling Jane, like, Jane Fonda, Judy Foster. Just couldn't get her name right. Korg was funny. Sad when he died, he didn't die, he was just ahead. It was, yeah. Then he came back. He made love with Dwayne, the Rock guy. Obviously a callback to, well, not callback, but just a reference to The Rock. Dwayne, The Rock Johnson. That was so funny. Korg is gay. I mean, technically his whole species. His whole species are gay because they're only males. Which ain't an issue to me. Some people take an issue with it. Why? It's a rock. So, yeah, he fake died. So did Valkyrie, and one thing I hate about the MCU is all the fake out death. They're too scared to kill characters. Even Infinity War. Like, the characters that died in Infinity War, Loki, he's already come back. Heimdall, he came back in Thor Love and Thunder technically, but I don't think we'll see him again. The Vision has already came back in WandaVision, and now it's White Vision. No one else died, I don't think, in Infinity War. Like, yes, everyone died, but they all came back. We all knew they were coming back, but the main characters that did die, showing the stakes, it was pointless. They're too scared to kill characters. Like Valkyrie, she got stabbed, nothing from it. Korg got thrown into a million pieces, nothing from it. That's just the only thing I don't like with the MCU, is they're too scared to kill people. Where's the rest of these things?
Head for the terminal so I can get you inside the lab.
Guessing they're up here. There's one. I can go for this, can't I? You're stronger. Yeah. Yeah, but Jane was cool. I'm hoping that was a good send-off to a character. Thor will return with Love and Thunder. Eternity was cool, actually, how they used her as like a wishing well, as Jane, I think, put it. Obviously, in the comics, she's really different. She, in the comics, has the daughter Love, like the embodiment of Love, which is Gore's daughter. Like, at the end, when they say Love and Thunder being the daughter and... There's one there. There's one more somewhere. So, I'm curious if the daughter is literally Love in the comics, then that'd be cool. Just the way it ended was cool. I liked how Thor... So Jane, if you don't know, Jane wasn't actually worthy. Just Thor put an enchantment on it to look after Jane, which is why that happened. I liked how Asgard is kind of just like this town, like a tourist attraction, with all these rides and stuff on the boats. Infinity Cones was funny. Daryl was there from Team Thor, if you've watched that thing. Daryl was there as like a tour guide when they walked around Mjolnir. I liked how Mjolnir worked, as it being called broken apart. How it like broke apart, got called back. It was just super satisfying. Necrosword was cool. If you don't know, the Necrosword's the twinning sword from that weapon at the end of Eternals that Dane Whitman gets after what's his name? Blade comes in. So interesting, they never made that connection, but it is like the twin sword. They are like sister swords or whatever. Is that the Ebony Blade? I think so. So the Necrosword and the Ebony Blade are twins. The Necrosword obviously cut off the head of the Celestial for nowhere. That's kind of common knowledge. Don't know if that's canon in the MCU, probably. I see it happening. Guardians were obviously funny. Star-Lord, I think, is the only one that spoke, really. Which makes sense, like, they're not going to outshine the others. This whole thing about family and stuff, love, was great in the film. Jokes were great. Not sure what else to say now. But let me know in the comments what you guys think of the film. I don't think it deserved any of the hate that it's getting online. It was great. Great sequel. We don't know where Thor's going to be next, do we now? Like, we knew about this project. My theory was, when we first got announced, was obviously they're changing the whole characters in the MCU, so Cap's been replaced, Iron Man's going to get replaced with Ironheart, Riri Williams. Hulk's getting replaced probably with She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters in She-Hulk, which is the next thing to come out now Miss Marvel is finished. August 17th, I believe. I'm curious if she will be in this game, actually, because there's talk that next characters are just going to be Echo Fighters, like this character, which has warmed up to me now. I'm liking Jane. But my thought was going to be Jane would replace Thor Odinson as Thor in the rest of the MCU, but not the case. So where will we next see Thor now? Maybe another Avengers thing? He could meet Shang-Chi. He could be in the Marvels. He could meet up with Bucky. Maybe he's gonna help the Eternals because he could help the ones in space, like Athena, Eros,
Let's show them how it's done.
Makari, Druig, or he could help the ones on Earth, like Cersei, Sprite technically, I don't know. Who else is on Earth? Phastos. But yeah, who knows what we're going to see Thor next. I think I've covered all the topics. Gore was cool. Just wish we saw more of his killing.
A number of kidnapped SHIELD agents are fighting AIM forces. Help them.
Right, I swear I just murdered you. There we are.
There are the agents. Help them defeat AIM.
Yeah, that's a lot. Boom. I think I'm gonna go watch the film again in cinemas at some point, just because it was a good film in general. I swear, hasn't it made back its money already? Like all the money it got put into, which was like 300 million, I swear, it's already made that money back, which is insane. So, although it's getting all this hate, it's obviously coming back. Like Taika Waititi's gonna direct the 5th film, or the next time we see Thor, just because of, even if there's controversy, it's got the money back. It's showing it will make money. I mean, it's the MCU, obviously it would. Shoot. What was the first end credit scene? Let's talk about that. Oh, I've already talked about them all, haven't I? First one was Zeus, obviously living, summoning Hercules. Oh, that'll be the next plot, maybe. Hercules will be after Thor. It'll be good, I think. I'm not sure how they're going to pull that off. Actually, my one biggest not mistake, but issue with the MCU, which the shows are doing better than the movies right now, is take the film out, what's different from the end of it? So Doctor Strange, from the beginning to the end, how does it impact the MCU? So Doctor Strange, how does it impact? America's there now in the MCU, she's working, Wanda's crushed, and Doctor Strange has a third eye. That's the only takeaway I have from that film. Whereas Spider-Man, like, everyone's forgot who Spider-Man is. The symbiote's there now. There's all this big stuff changing. But not much happened in Thor. By the end, Thor got his hammer back. He has a daughter. That's it. That's the only takeaway. And that's one thing I don't like. And the shows are doing better. Like Miss Marvel, how that ended. It set up Miss Marvel. So Miss Marvel's now on Earth, in a room, surrounded by merch of her, where Kamala's in space or some unknown location where Red Dagger's on the run with Kamran, and Moon Knight set up all this stuff, and WandaVision set up Doctor Strange, but has also set up some other things like where the hell is White Vision and Photon. So the shows are doing a better job. Hawkeye setting it up with Kate Bishop going to live with Clint and stuff like. It's setting it up, but the MCU movies haven't done that in a while, which is the only critique I have. Anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of the film. If it's good, if it's bad, if you agree with the controversies, if you think they don't deserve the controversy. Just let me know in the comment section below. Or if you haven't even seen the film, then this video has been a whole load of spoilers. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I shall see you in the next one. And goodbye, everybody.